Welcome, fight fans,
to the Fighters Boys Kick Podcast.
Your Fight Talk Authority.
Not to mention the most entertaining and talked about podcast with your kick-ass host, Richard Ortiz.
You mad? Come at me, bro.
And his loyal kick-ass co-host, Senor Cole Escovedo.
Streaming live and worldwide.
Coming to you all the way live from a little place somewhere in Cali. The Fighters Boys
Kick-Ass Podcast.
Fresno, California, we're live here in Mad Production Studios, the Fighter's Voice Kick-Ass Podcast. This is the part of the show where I love to say the Kick-Ass Podcast. It just has a good ring to it. What do you think, Cole?
I like it. It rhymes.
It does. So does also, I don't know if you noticed that I put on Facebook, Instagram, and etc. Subscribe and watch live. Because you do. It has a little. Yeah, it has. It could be catchy. It could be catchy.
That's the whole point.
Where are my manners? The co-host with the most, the UFC veteran himself, the Apache Kid, Cole Escovedo in studio. How you doing, Cole?
Not bad, not bad. We're having Colin today. It's just us, right?
Yes,
yeah,
we are. Yes, we are.
We were going to have someone in studio, weren't we?
We were going to have Big Al Gonzalez. But
Big Mrs. Al, I guess.
Hey, Big Mrs. Al.
Popped.
The water broke.
Yeah, that's what you said in that text.
The floodgates are open.
So he had a little one on the way today.
And the little one's coming.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we'll have to get him on.
And he was all fired up too. He was very excited. He was posting. He was showing pictures. He said, "Richie, I can't wait to get on the show." He calls me Richie, and I can't wait to get on the show. I got so much to talk about. I got a big fight. I got news. Most of you heard news. Yeah.
I saw him, and we'll talk about Lamas later when he's on.
Yeah.
I saw Lamas on a poster too. I don't know if they were the same poster.
No,
events.
not the same poster.
They're one event and a different event entirely. Big Al's doing an MMA fight, right?
Yeah, Big Al's doing an MMA fight.
Up next.
Bellator, San Jose, California.
Yeah, that's what poster I saw. Yeah,
my voice sounds okay, KP. It's cool. It's kind of echoing to me.
That's a good pickup for him.
That's great. It's a great opportunity.
It's a really good opportunity for him.
And I wanted him to spill it, you know?
Yeah,
first of all, congratulations, Big Al. He did great.
Yeah, but I think I saw it on his Facebook or his Instagram or something. So it's already out there, but that's a good, he'll probably be a prelim card status.
Yeah.
But get one or two solid V's in and, you know.
Well, he has a chance to pull fans from San Jose. Mm-hmm. That's the whole opportunity. That's the whole thing.
I would say the key to Big Al's life expectancy and profitability in that organization, especially when they got him fighting in San Jose, would be to get as many people as possible to buy tickets and drive up. Like literally, and they all need to be wearing Big Al shirts so that the crowd can see and the promoters can see.
Yes, exactly. What he brings to the table.
He can go, look, see that whole section up there?
That's me.
That's all me. Those are all from out of town fans. They all drove to see me. Because at that point, they see out-of-town dollar signs, because they'll probably sell out given the area. Between Stockton, you got San Jose area, Bay Area.
Bellator's always hitting up San Jose.
Yeah, so they're going to do really well, but that's why the visualization matters. Like being able to tell the promoter, hey, dude, by the way, see all those shirts with my face on it? Those are all out-of-town people. Like, that's really key for him.
I like the screen, KP. I like the double screen. I was going to tell you that before we started rocking and rolling. I'm looking at the monitor right there, man.
You need to shave. Man.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, that's a really good opportunity for him. It'll be what he makes of it. He'll either, remember, you can't just win fights. That's the key, especially when you're starting out in a new organization that's larger. Not necessarily, larger. Bellator is definitely larger than Combate, and that's just at this point because Combate is literally this year, or last year. They're a brand new organization. They're almost like a little
Well, they're on this tour right now, and they're making an impact.
Yeah, and that's how you have to do it.
Oh, Mike,
that got weird.
Changed. Yeah, Mike changed on
that. But that's how you have to do it. Way too up.
Oh, okay. He'll make adjustments.
But yeah, it's the tour stop is how you're going to build that cross-platform audience.
Yeah.
Because you can't just say, oh, it's just a West Coast organization, or there's this, or there's that. They're only successful because they're here. Mike and those guys don't want to be pinned down with that. That's why they're doing this cross-expansion tour, because they just want to be one of those tours. Like, dude, we'll put on fights anywhere. Yeah. UFC does it. I mean, it's just Vegas is their bread and butter.
The comparison that I would say, kind of a different sound for me, is Combate. Their fights are competitive. They're exciting fights. There hasn't been, the crowd's booing because there's no action. Someone's getting tapped out or knocked out, or it's a bloodbath.
It's super loud on my end.
Yeah,
it's super loud. But yeah, it'll be a good pickup for them. Good opportunity for him. Like I said, he'll be prelim. I don't know what Combate paid him, but it'll probably be about the same, if not maybe a little better, just because they probably have maybe I wouldn't say deeper pockets, but they have more consistency of multiple pockets. Does that make sense? Like they probably built over
Different
time resources, investors, things like that. Whereas Combate is still growing.
Yeah.
They did have that female investor dump in today. She dropped like what 20 million, I think, with them or something. So she's invested. So they're slowly building a stable of people that believe in them, that are investing money, and that like what they're doing. So just give them a little time; they'll be up there. They're spending their money on the right fights right now, is what they're doing.
No, they are great matchmaking, and I'm excited. I talked to Fromowitz today.
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah, he helped me out big time. He gave me some great advice, man.
Oh good.
I mean, I was so excited after I got off the phone with him. It's like I couldn't wait for my next interview. Because you can't wait to apply this, or you can't wait to avoid this, and you can't. As opposed to, I appreciate, hey, I like this interview, or the Monday quarterback, or what have you. But when somebody's in the business and they know what needs to be done, hey, I'm a sponge, man. Talk
Well, yeah,
all day
it's
long.
built on experience.
Yeah.
It's not really his personal opinion. It's more on. I looked at it from a business perspective, and that's how I see it, and that's how he approaches it. So, I'd say that's always good. Any good feedback from a promoter is always a good feedback, provided the promoter knows what they're talking about. I've run into some that don't.
Well, yeah. I guess we'll adjust as we go. I'll work through it. It's just like a fight. You got to make that adjustment, man, with sounds and stuff like that. Man.
Yeah. That happens. But, too, as far as adjustments go, what's up with Henry Cejudo? Dude.
Oh, my God.
I saw that.
Oh, my Coles is loud on mine.
Yeah, and then I had to go to his Instagram.
To make sure.
And I went to his Instagram and watched it, and he posted it, and I was like, that can't be of his own inception.
No.
That can't. There's no freaking way.
He needs an evaluation.
I don't think he needs an evaluation. I just think he has the wrong people in his ear telling him what to say.
I'm talking about a PR evaluation. We're like, don't send that.
But that's the problem. Is these are the PR people. These are his marketing people. These are his managers saying, "Yeah, say that. That'll sound good."
Okay, that worked in a tennis match, right? Back in the day.
Was it Malcolm? Who did that?
Oh man, now I gotta know. Yes, Billie Jean King.
Challenged the female champ, right? Yeah. But that's different.
No, the guy challenged Billie Jean King.
Yeah, but that's different. That's tennis.
Yes, I said it worked in a tennis match.
Yeah, it'll work in a soccer match too. Football, soccer. I mean, well, maybe not. Yeah, football. You got a lot of badass
the
bitches.
Olympics, they got co-ed relays, but something physical,
something like fighting. That's different.
Okay. Let's call it what it is. Okay, the fight takes place. He wins by first round knockout. Okay, you feel good now?
Yeah, dude. It's like
we're gonna celebrate.
Yeah, it's like being in a bar fight and chick hits you.
Nothing to gain.
You hitting her back, you ain't gonna gain nothing. You're gonna get jumped.
Nothing to gain, every single thing to lose, and not get back.
Yeah, he really has nothing to gain.
You don't get that back. Who's that guy? Oh, the guy that fought the chick and he tapped her out. He knocked her out.
Yeah, and that's like
that's me.
That's the worst case scenario too. Is like a finish. That's a worst case scenario.
I don't want to use the term chick. Okay, I mean I'm just talking bar talk because that's the way men are gonna address this guy.
And it's Shevchenko too, right?
Okay, even to make that comment, can you imagine if you went to go talk to the inmates? They want to talk to you, all right?
Yeah,
they're gonna take it to another level.
It's different. I just wish I could be a fly on the wall in that room when they had that meeting. Now granted, his PR and his management and those guys, they might come out in like a week and go, look, we fucking told him not to say it. We told him, Henry, that's a bad idea, bro. Don't. You're going the wrong way. And he was just like, nah, I'm fucking double champ. It's like, all right, whatever, dude. You're going to be double fucking stupid if you pull this off. And unfortunately, that's the scenario he's setting him up for. I mean, great. If she, I haven't watched her reply to you, but if she accepts it and she's down with it, great. But the core of the fact is, why there's so many other guys that you could be calling out in the weight divisions that would be more than happy to fight you. Call out Faber. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like Faber's already applied to him. He said something about Faber, and Faber was like, "Yeah, I'll fucking smack you." Like he didn't tolerate it at all. He was like, "You can triple C these nuts." It was bad. It was really bad.
Make that statement in front of one of the Diaz brothers.
And they'd probably slap you. They'd be like, "The fuck did you just say? Yes, like you want to fight a girl? What? You ain't a man. You know, it would be bad."
Yeah, you just killed my buzz.
Yeah, like it wouldn't fly with them. But
no.
It probably doesn't fly well with a lot of people. But here's the thing: is you haven't really. I don't know. I think it's a really weird angle. It's a really weird approach. So what if she has a belt? If you have the 25 and the 35. Great, go get the 45. Like, where's the goal? What's the end game?
You know what? Go take it from a man.
It's just I can't see. I get that, and she's got the belt or whatever. But at the same time, it's like why? Like, what is there to gain? Like, it just does. I've looked at it from so many different angles and really tried to think about what, if I were Henry, how does this benefit me? It doesn't. Because especially, what if she kicks your ass? What, I mean, seriously, what if she fucks you up or he gets lucky, clips you and just gets lucky, just blind luck, some spinning back fist or some head kick that you just weren't fucking paying attention and clip?
How do you get there and pick her up and slam her? How do you do that? How do you feel good about yourself doing that?
From their perspective, I imagine it would be more, this is just a combat. That's just what it is. He would say, look, I look at you not like a woman, but as an athlete. But at the same time, it's just that men and women are just built differently.
You know what? Before we go any further, hey, send your questions and comments about this. We're talking about a man in MMA, Henry Cejudo, and he just wants to fight a female. JT Basemaster, what's up, my man? Appreciate you watching. Mark Davis, what's up, my man? Sophia, how's it going? Send your questions.
So, you know, it just doesn't make any sense. I've really tried to wrap my hand around what is there to gain. And that's like what you mentioned. He has everything to lose because, A, it's going to hurt your reputation. Fight's never going to happen, first off. It'll never happen.
Of course not. To even challenge, to want to do that?
Yeah, that's the weird part. Like, I don't almost know, like he did it knowing that the Athletic Commission would never let it fly.
Yeah.
So he's like, I can say this. You know, it'd be like saying, it'd be the equivalent of him talking shit to Jorge Masvidal, knowing that the Athletic Commission would never let that fight happen because of the weight class difference.
Like at a party, hold me back. Back.
Well, the problem was Jorge'd fuck you up in a Walmart. You know what I mean? He'd see you at the store and just fuck you up. He'd heard you said it and be like, hey, I heard you said this. Yeah, boom, boom, boom. Yeah. 3-piece and a soda, I'm going off the fucking coals.
It wasn't like a female stood up and said, I'm the fastest woman on the planet. I'm the fastest, I'm the fastest human being on the planet. And a guy goes, no, you're not.
Yeah, it's not like that. Some reporter made the statement of calling her like the best pound for pound fighter or something of the weight class, period. And like included everybody, men and women. And I guess he took offense to that. It was something said like that. And he took offense to it. Like, oh, okay, you guys are calling her the best. We're in the same weight class. I think I'm the best. It's like, that still doesn't work, dude. Man. Yeah, it's not gonna. Again, it's a statement made on something that we know, unfortunately, it will never happen. It's just the way it is.
You know what? Correct me if I'm wrong, Cole. I've heard men from Mike Tyson to Conor McGregor saying, I'm the baddest man on the planet. Mm. I can't recall of a woman saying, I'm the baddest woman on the planet. I'm the baddest human being on the planet. And if she did, she has every right to say that.
Yeah, I've seen some chicks say like,
not, and want to be challenged by a man. Come on, dude, get real.
Yeah, no, I've seen some female fighters say, I feel I'm the best female fighter in this weight class. Like that's a totally fine statement. Totally. I've even seen women say, I think I'm the best 135 pounder.
I've heard you say, the Fighter's Voice, the best podcast in the San Joaquin Valley.
Yeah, there we go. See,
and in California.
Co-alliance, I like it.
Yeah, all right then.
But yeah, I could even see a female fighter at a 35, 45, 25 saying, I think I'm the best 35, 45 pounder fighter in the world. Like at 145, I think I'm the best. Okay, now at that point, if she were to move forward and say, hey, I had a crazy idea. I really want to try to prove that. Then you approach the UFC, your organization, whatever, and they start talking about it behind the doors and saying, what would we have to do to really make this take place? Because first off, you'd have to find a fighter at that weight class to even take the fight. Yeah. And, you know, they'd have to really work it out and go, look, we got the Athletic Commission to sign off on this. We just need an opponent who's down. Because how you approach it is how the history about that fight going down will be written. Yeah. Because if you come at it with like, oh, yeah, I'll kick her fucking ass, you're going to look like an idiot. But if you came and said, look, the UFC approached me about this idea. So-and-so said they're the best 135, 145 fighter in the world. The best. UFC approached me about this and had this really weird opportunity and said, hey, so-and-so thinks she's the best in this weight class of what we have to offer in the world. Would you be willing to fight her for us so she could prove that? I mean, A, you have to consider, well, what if I lost? I mean, at that point, you'd really only be losing to a better fighter. That's the thing here. Yeah. You wouldn't be losing to a female. You'd be losing to a better fighter. So if he gets his ass kicked, if Henry gets his ass kicked, he'd be losing to a better fighter. But the problem is how he's approached it, how he's gone about it. Like, this is a very negatively triggered scenario to start off the way he started this whole, hey, I want to fight thing. It would have been like, hey, I think I'm the best 100. But here's the thing is there's so many dudes in the male roster that he could say, I think I'm the best. Dude, finish clearing out all those rosters first.
Here's my thing about it, and then I'm going to give both angles about it. He's in a position right now in his career where he doesn't have to say bonehead things like that.
Exactly.
He does not have to. It's just like an actor. An actor, KP. You're going to take every single commercial that you want. KP's a decorated actor. he doesn't have to say, okay, I'm gonna take I don't want to say lower level. I mean, he's gonna take nothing but leads. You're in that position as opposed to, okay, I got to take this role. He doesn't have to take that role.
Yeah.
Now, if a female fighter says, I think I could beat a man. I want to fight a man. Okay, she's not going to receive the criticism or the concern or get
she would
bashed.
receive a lot of concern.
Exactly, concern.
I would imagine a lot of people would tell her no.
Say, hey, as opposed to right off the start of the show, we started talking about Henry. And some woman said it best. I'm not going to say who it was. She was a former woman champion. She said, if you're going to hit like a man, you're going to get, no, if you're going to punch like a man, you're going to get hit like a man. Meaning, because she was sparring with another a trainer that was a man, but she started letting sets go, and he was kind of holding back, and he finally had to let her know and say, "Hey,
if you're going to push it on me, I'm going to push back."
Exactly,
but that's training.
I see that. There's just a difference from a female saying, "I want to fight a man," as opposed to a man saying, "I want to fight a female."
There is.
But my thing is, Henry is in a position where he doesn't have to do that. He could say, I want to move up 10 pounds. I want another belt.
There's just a list of guys waiting to fight him. I mean, he's in the same scenario that DJ was in, Demetrius Johnson.
Yes.
No end of opponents for the UFC to keep giving him, except for the fact that they started to go, we want to get rid of your division. Yeah. But now it's like at 25 and 35,
he got a jacked up deal.
DJ did. Yeah, DJ was not, we don't know what he was being paid too. Like at the end of the day, he might have been making a lot.
Well, I'm just going to stay on that subject. He didn't get any fighter 10 pounds above. Those matches were never made.
Yeah.
There was no...
Because he didn't need to.
You don't get to become a champ or the opportunity now. He didn't get that opportunity.
Yeah, well, he'll do fine where he is. I think he'll be happy. But But for the scenario I'm saying is that the same thing with DJ is that there's no... With two weight classes, there's no ended of the guys for you to fight. Like, there's no ended of opponents. I can see if, like, the UFC said, Henry... Fuck, bro. Dana's like, I got nothing for you. Like, I built this contender series to keep finding you opponents, and there's nobody. Nobody wants to fight you anymore. That's it, bro. Like, we have to pay dudes twice to fight you. It's like, okay, but there's not.
Okay. Now, if they put the word exhibition or charity match, which we already know, we're going to roll with each other. I'm not knocking you out. You're not knocking me out. Let's give the fans, the ticket buyers, a performance.
Unfortunately, I see Pride overtaking that scenario.
Exactly.
I think one of them would bank the other one, and they'd be like, "All right, cool."
Exactly. Yeah, just like when they made the Honey Badger, they wanted it to be good, but what did they do instead to it? What did they do to it?
Took a bunch of hate and angry and violence and just stuffed it into a little animal, and then shot the shit out of it and then threw it at you in the dark and said, "Good luck."
In the dark.
I'm telling you, man, the dark. But charity I could get behind, but it's like I said, it's too late. He's already made that statement of, I want to be champ. It's like, dude, stop. There's plenty of dudes in other organizations to fight. I guess, but I mean, if he was that desperate for solid opponents, he'd go to the UFC and say, look, here's the deal. I want to fight A, B, and C.
Yeah.
Get them for me.
Yeah.
I don't care if you got to lower my pay to pay off part of their contracts to buy them, but I want to fight the best. Bring me those guys. Like, cool, but there's no end of guys for the UFC to feed him to fight. There's really not. There's so many guys right now lined up going, I want to fight Henry next, because he is worth money right now to fight.
Well, now, it could be a ploy. Him saying that, how many people come out of the work and say, you know what, I'll fight that dude.
There was already dudes saying they'd fight him, and he kind of had that whole weird vibe going off.
There would be the lower levels that wanted to fight him.
Well, yeah, everybody wants to fight him right now. But after that statement, I'm sure there's dudes. It just
doesn't make sense, man.
It really doesn't. And that way, it goes up there with that whole crown and king staff and that robe he had on.
And that fake snake thing.
And I'm just like, this doesn't feel, I mean, like I said, I made that post where I was just like, fuck it, I give up, homie's off his meds.
Yeah.
I really want to support that this isn't Henry's idea. Like, I feel like one day we're going to get this video or something where he's going to go, check it out. I fired my management team. I fired my PR team. I'm looking for a new manager. Here's the story. Like, they put me up to all of this stuff. Something. But no, I want to give him that benefit of the doubt. But because it just doesn't seem like, who told you that was a good fucking idea, dude? Like, how does any of your team hear that and go, yeah, bro, that sounds like a great idea. What the fuck? You should all be fired.
And here's the thing. Erase all that other crazy stuff. The guy's a badass.
That's the problem.
He's a badass.
He's a good fighter.
He
like,
doesn't need to do that.
Yeah, like, why are you doing this, bro? Like, you're a good fucking fighter. Like, you could just sit back and just take paydays for the next, 3 years of just keep bringing me guys that want to take my belts. Belts. I'll fight one weight class every other fight. Boom, boom, boom. Like, dude, you're set. you're set. You own the 2 lowest weight classes in the UFC at that point. Like, what are you doing? You're fucking yourself. Because at one point, Dana's going to go.
actually save that division.
Yeah, he did help save that division. He has the potential to grow that division.
Yes.
By him being champ, you're actually expanding that roster because now they have to find guys to fight you.
Yeah.
And there's already guys, but now it's like, dude, we could dump some money into this now. We can invest into this weight classes. But like, because when he fought TJ, that was a really good opportunity. His result of that was really good, and it showcased his ability, and it showcased the fact that, like, I'm here to stay.
And TJ was on a hot streak.
He was, and that's what I'm saying is, like, Henry, bro, you don't need to be doing this stuff, dude. Like, you don't, like, I don't know, man. It seems like it's a weird direction to go in.
It doesn't make sense. I mean, like I said, the fight takes place. He wins by submission or knockout. Okay.
Great. You know,
what does that do, man?
I mean, it would be because here's the thing. Now it's like you're in the catch-22 of, well, okay, did he beat a girl or did he beat another fighter? How do you want to look at it? Because you can't look at her at that point.
No,
Like, the
exactly.
only reason we're calling her female fighters because she's a female fighter.
Exactly. And
So-
that's, I don't want to take away from the sport.
Exactly. Like,
or,
she's just as good and she
Exactly.
lost. So,
Exactly.
or wins, you know, then
now,
that's
depending
really
on the
bad.
matchup, there is some female fighters that can beat some male fighters, depending on the matchup.
Depending on the matchup, I would
Yes.
imagine there are. I mean, I would put Amanda Nunes up against a lot of 35 and 45ers, like a lot.
Yes.
Like a
That
lot.
right hand. She has
That
it.
she's got that right hand all
Yep.
day. I mean, okay, think about it this way. Would you want to be?
lioness.
Would you want to be a 45er fighting Cyborg or Nunez?
No.
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 Most of them don't because at the end of the day, they're still badasses. Like, if you're the kind of fighter who looks and goes, oh, dude, they're a girl, I can beat them, you're probably what's wrong with the negativity of the sport.
Yeah.
Just for the simple fact that you're not looking at them as
That
athletes.
statement just got you knocked out.
Exactly. You know, it's like, why? Why look at them that way? They're fighters. Like, if somebody said, would you fight Cyborg? I'd say yes, but for how much?
Speaking of Cyborg, did we see the last of her in UFC?
I would say in the UFC at this time, yes. You got to remember, it's all about money. So if she does go into an organization, which I'm sure one of them has already talked to her and already finding out what the contract disputes are,
Also,
what
knows
get her
if I
out.
show up to San Jose in September to watch Big Al Gonzalez and I see Cyborg sitting in the crowd, or
I would assume
sitting,
signed.
Yeah,
I would assume
around
signed.
the corral.
Kind of like when you guys saw Tito at in LA.
Yeah,
Doing
he
the
was
signings.
chilling. Yeah,
As soon as he was, me and
Yeah.
KP were talking. As soon as he told me he was doing signings, I'm like, they signed him. He's on. Because they're not going to pay him to just show up and sign stuff.
No.
There's no future investment in that. There's no. That's not an investment.
Actually,
that's a rent.
De La Hoya handed the contract.
Yeah, well, he had to. That whole organization.
Yeah.
Does. Look, that whole thing was fun. He tried it. He moved on. But you know, I wouldn't want to fight Cyborg, but I would for the right money because she's a dangerous person to fight. Like that's got nothing to do with her being a man or a woman. It's like I've seen her fight. That would be dangerous. Like
Now, what would be interesting is if Cyborg or Nunes said, "I want to fight a man," depending on the matchup.
depending on the matchup and how they approach it. Like if they said, "Hey, I feel that there's nobody left in the women's division for me to fight. I want to fight a 145 guy. Bring me one. Who's down to fight?" And I'm sure you'd find a couple to be like, "Dude, I'll take that." Like I'm down, not because I want to fight her, because dude, if she thinks she's bad enough to beat the 45ers, cool. Let's pay me. I'll take that fight. Because at that point, people might not say, "Oh, how could you take that fight?" And go, "Look, they took the fight because A, they paid me. B, it's not out of anger and hate or combativeness against each other. It's that she thinks she's a better 145-pound fighter than the rest of us. So that's the whole reason we're here, right? Is to find out who's the best. At one point, you will probably see maybe cross-gender fights take place, maybe, but that's like a decade from now, maybe. And that's at a very strict
They
weight
actually
class,
happen.
strict nutrition
They
stuff.
happen, right? They're just not sanctioned. There's some.
They'd be sanctioned.
No, I'm talking about.
Oh, no?
In Madera, we're talking about McNelly Park. We're talking about old school Pan Am
Aldo's.
Park. If you're from Madera, there you go. Exactly.
But I just, like I said, man, for Henry to bring it out the way he did and approach it the way he did, I don't see the win in it. I'm so confused by it. Like, bro, you could just write. I mean, maybe he wasn't happy. Maybe he's not happy with the contract. Maybe he's trying to find a way out of it. Maybe he's trying to do weird shit. I don't know. But it seemed like he was very
just talk to the
serious.
Diaz brothers. They'll show you how to get out of it.
Speaking of,
the Diaz brothers.
you see what Nate was doing?
Yes, at the press
Dude,
conference.
yes.
Yeah, Mark Davis told me what he was doing.
Not
on
even the
way
press
up here.
conference. It was the open workouts.
Oh, yes. No, they were called open smokeouts.
Open smokeouts,
Open
yes.
smokeouts. Speaking of Nate, he was in Stockton, California when we were
For the boxing event?
Yes, Toscano Boxing Promotions. And again, I'll say that is a very professional organization. From the very first show that I did to where they are now in less than a year, they went from Okay, just another show to be reckoned with. They have a chance to be one of the hottest promotion deals in California.
Given their following so far?
They got their act together, professional all the way around. And their judges were the who's who of judges. They were the pay-per-view judges. They were the pay-per-view doctors.
Good experience then.
Oh,
solid experience guys in there.
Yeah.
It gives a good showing, and it gives a good reputation to the organization too.
Yeah.
Shows them that they're kind of like on their way kind of thing, like we're going.
Yeah, and I'll tell you about that. For about maybe 10 seconds, my legs went numb a little bit.
Oh,
Because when
nice.
I climb in that ring, and I've noticed, I really never look at the judges, but when I'm meeting them in the beginning, because I want to make sure I say their name properly, I'm like, okay, I know who that is.
That's right, because you have to announce them as ringside judge, huh?
Exactly. And I said, okay, I know who that is, and I know who that is. And
I'm about to say their name.
Yeah.
No, that's fun.
But it was cool. There's two things that happen. It's either going to make you or break you.
True.
Yeah, so it was fun. It was great. Oh, there we are. Right
exactly.
there.
Yeah. So I saw somebody.
George Toscano on the left, and then you got Richard, and then you got Nate, and then my man on the right. I'm trying to, who's my man on the far right?
It'll
Forgive
come
me
to you
that.
like on the drive home.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I saw the open workout video. He was token. Now, people are saying that might be a CBD thing
He
because
was token at the event outside of it.
yeah, but the question is, was it a
cigarette.
THC or was it a CBD smoking? Because remember, so here's the thing. Nate Diaz
a
was
UFC.
smoking that CBD pen.
It was a UFC. Right?
But what I'm saying is I think there's a new partnership because he was smoking that CBD pen at a post-fight press conference, and everybody assumed it was weed, and it was later found out that it was CBD.
And, he has back problems. It relaxes his back.
Well, yeah, but then there's also, I heard that the UFC partnered with a cannabis company. I heard they partnered with a CBD company. So to see that happen
Can
now,
join him?
pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's like, hey, if Nate's going to do that, and there's a product that's legal, and this and that, because really
There's more people than Nate doing that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think they just kind of like stop fighting it.
Yeah.
And you might see a change in the regulatory athletic commissions and stuff like that. They might have urine tests for like, you can't piss dirty for it like after maybe or something weird because they just don't want you doing it during. Like if you have a pre-fight piss test or something or you're in training random, cool, great, whatever, because it's not a steroid first off. So that eliminates that concern. But
no, it's not going to help you win the fight. It may help you recover. Well,
That's debatable.
It'll give you bravery.
Okay. The perfect example is watch the Nick Diaz fight versus Takanori
Bobby,
Gomi.
what's up? Thanks for watching. Isabel, what's up? Thanks for watching.
Watch Diaz versus Takanori on the only Pride on American soil in Vegas.
Okay.
When he fought Takanori was just splitting him open. They say, because later it came out that he was just high as fucking giraffe pussy. And they said that fight should be overturned because you were high, because it allowed you to...
I like that term.
Yeah.
I'll have to borrow that.
It was they said that you were able to sustain more punishment than if you weren't, and that allowed you time and patience basically to find a way to win. But that's the only debatable point is it allows you to take more punishment. That's it.
You know what it does to you?
Yeah.
You don't care. You're just like, whatever, let's go.
And that's the thing.
It cools your nerves. You're ready to go. You are able to take more.
Yeah, but the thing is,
Literally.
you can get the same thing from CBD. That's the thing. That's in where the debate lies in, is because you can get that whole same pain tolerance and relaxation from CBD.
That's just an over-the-counter generic version of the real thing, from tap water to fountain water. That's probably the difference.
I mean, well, the thing is with THC,
You know the back
marijuana.
when you read cheese and it says, okay, water first, or it says milk? Yeah, you always want to grab the one with milk because that's the best cheese. Well, this probably is water.
Well,
You know
but
what I mean?
the thing is, here's the thing with marijuana.
Just a
there's
comparison.
But the comparison. Well, here's the thing. With marijuana, there's only two chemicals. There's THC and there's CBD. The CBD is where you get the anxiety relief, you get the calming feeling, you get the pain relief. The THC is really the only part that gets you high, that feeling of high, but everything else, the relaxed, the calming, oh, my heart's not racing anymore. That's the CBD. That's not really an aftermarket product. That actually comes from the plant. That's from marijuana. There's the only two chemicals in marijuana are THC and CBD. They're intertwined. So what Nate's doing is he's only using the CBD part. It's got no THC in it, or I don't know what product he uses, but I know one that's 100% no THC. It's just the oil of it. It's just like, let's say you get panic attacks and things like that. Yeah, you get panic attacks, or you got your grandma, or you got your kid that has seizures and panic attacks. You could give it to them because it's 0% THC. It's not a drug. It's the medicinal purposes of that plant that have been extracted into the oil. And that's what they're giving him. So they might have partnered with a company like that allows him to do that.
Official spokesman of the.
Well, I might. No,
I'm just giving you a hard time, man. That's good. No, you know your facts. You look into it, and you can comment about it.
Well, so. I know. I got involved with a CBD company. That's how I know why they're the same thing. That's what I'm saying is like comparing it with cheese and milk. It's still cheese. It's just maybe it's if you melted the cheese down and sucked the liquid out of the cheese and just had the mold cheese.
Field.
You do. Yeah. You still need a lab, but the CBD part could be how he's now. That's how it's integrated. Like they might have said, "Look, it's CBD. We don't care. The athletic commission doesn't care. It's not getting you high."
Well, apparently it's passing and they're allowing it.
Yeah,
because you're not going to commit career suicide.
I mean, yeah, we would have heard about it by now.
Rocha, what's up, my man? Thanks for watching.
If they pulled his fight, we would have heard about it. Like if they're like, "Oh, I feel like what are they going to do? We're going to investigate what he was smoking." No, you're not. You know goddamn well what he was smoking. Chances are it was just a doobie because he doesn't give a fuck because he's Nate Diaz. Because fuck it, who cares?
He don't.
You know, and if he tests dirty after, so what? He'll enjoy his Pettis winning money on vacation.
Yeah.
Boo-hoo.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like you're...
That was my concern. I was talking to a Nate Diaz fan today. And they were saying, you know what? I said, who are you going for? Who's going to win and why? And so forth. Because he said, well, of course, I'm pulling for Nate Diaz, but I just don't want him just to win and then we don't see him for another year and a half or anher year or... You just don't know.
It'd be like a 6-month suspension.
No, what I'm talking about him win. You know when he wins, he gets a chunk of change, then he kind of he doesn't agree to the terms, so there's no fight again, and it's over and over again.
Well, yeah, it's because they're throwing him chump change.
That's just the mystery of the Diaz brothers, man.
Kind of. They've realized their worth. They both have, which I haven't seen Nick fight in a while, man. I miss watching Nick fight.
Yeah, we're just talking about Nick and one of his comments. I mean, his one-liners are just incredible.
Yeah, they are.
Oh my gosh.
But Nate's kind of Nate's there now. You know, he's the one taking those fights and stuff. But the thing is, he realizes his worth. He knows that he's got a paycheck.
Let's talk about this fight. Let's break it down because he's not fighting Showtime Pettis. He's fighting the guy in the Wheaties box.
Yeah,
I like that.
That already tells me that he does not respect Anthony's ability as a fighter. He thinks he's a below him fighter, and that's when he made that comment. But I mean, you expect those kind of comments anyway out of the Diaz brothers. But something that specific, it just shows that that's how he sees Pettis. Man, you're just a motherfucker off the Wheaties box. Like that's how he sees him, as like a gimmick, as like a sideshow, as like you had a couple good fights, you bounced off some cage, and it looked super fucking cool. So now you got famous off that. That's how he's seeing it versus his winning ability.
He still tries that every now and then.
He does.
He's coming off a big win. He just needs to be consistent with those.
But everybody's trying it now. Wins. That's the thing. Everybody's doing it now. I've seen Superman punches off the cage. I've seen Superman kicks, and some of them land, some of them don't. But at the same time, it's like
speaking of those. Of having those in your arsenal, of things that you do at practice, flipping before your name's called. We're gonna call JC Lomas in a little while, man, and I want to ask him about that because there's a lot of people that have tried things, different fighters at practice, or even baseball players or football players to try to one-hand it, but it's only a few that have the balls, to pull it off during the game time when it's crunch time, man.
Yeah, because you can drill it all you want, but if you don't have the nerves for it when the pressure's on, you'll fuck up. Like you need the practice,
and you got to be all in when you do it.
Yeah, like you can't second guess it. You got to commit it.
Like that flip.
Dude, I got to talk to him about that.
I know. I'm gonna try to bring him up right now. I'm gonna call him right now and see what's happening.
But yeah, so I mean, I see Diaz finishing that fight in probably the second or third round.
Oh, really? So you're picking Diaz?
Yeah, I picked Diaz on that one. Obviously, I'm picking Cormier. I don't even want to watch that fucking fight. It disgusts me as a fan that fight even exists. Like as a fan, that fight disgusts me that it even exists. There's nothing against. Hey, Rudy, don't get mad, bro. There's nothing against your boy DC. I like DC. I think he's a great guy. But it's just you can at the end of the day you can agree with me that there is other guys that he could have fought that deserved it more. You know, I mean, when you get clipped, and then you don't fight anyone else, and then you get an immediate title shot again. That as a fan, I feel robbed. I feel like I'm paying to watch the same fight, and I see the fight happening the same way. I probably see like a end of first, somewhere in the second round finish. We got this hooked up,
right? Yes. Okay.
So I'm, that's where I go on that one. I got Cormier finishing him again, either in the late first or because he'll feel him out and not be jumpy. He'll feel him out just like he should again. It's a new opponent.
What would you do? Would you attack DC?
I would put pressure on DC. If I were Stipe, I'd immediately come out of the gate and put pressure on him because he's going to treat you like a new opponent. So he's going to try to feel you out for a second. But that's your opportunity to rush him and just force him to react.
You're going to try. You don't want him closing the distance.
No, you let DC close the distance.
It's a wrap.
Because he's dictating the pace of the fight at that point and the range. Once you let a wrestler dictate the range, you're fucked because they're in their range. They can reach you. But I got DC on that one. Again, like I said, guys, as a fan, I'm I feel insulted that that fight's even happening. That's a shame. You should be pissed off too. Like, seriously, you should be pissed off that that was DC's next title fight. You really should. And then also I've got Romero absolutely fucking destroying Costa because...
Oh, do you?
Yeah, because that's just what fucking swole Romero does, dude, is he just fucking destroys people. The guy's like just muscle on top of muscle. I don't give a fuck if it's injected in his arm or what. That dude's a beast.
He is a monster.
You know, it was risky for Costa to take that fight. I don't see him walking out of that one on his own power. I think that's going to be like a first round finish. Like those last 3 fights,
Yeah.
I don't see that one going past the first, and the other
you
one's
don't?
second, third fight round maybe finishes.
Richard, how you doing, brother?
Oh, I didn't mean to interrupt. Hey, man, who's back right here?
The king is back,
The
homie.
king is back.
Is back. Are we live on radio right now?
Oh, we're live on
Live.
radio. Live, my man. You subscribe?
We're live. Awesome.
Subscribe
awesome.
to www.youtube.com/thefightersvoice. Subscribe to
Fighter's
watch
Voice.
live. Yes. Now joining us here
Awesome.
in studio by way of phone call, the one, the only, he calls himself the Emperor. That sounds pretty good.
The
JC
king is
Lomas.
back.
The king is back. Look at him right there. The king is back.
So
The
how
king
you
is back, homie.
how
How's
you feeling?
everything? How you guys doing over there?
We're good. How are you feeling?
I'm doing amazing, man. I'm doing amazing. Getting ready for my next fight. I got a couple great opportunities. I've been getting a lot of offers from different organizations.
I would
different
imagine.
fights,
So
and,
you've got a fight coming up, right? I saw something about your next match.
yes, I'm fighting. What's his name? My Roy Head Richmond, something like that.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. You're fighting Mike Rickman. Mike Richmond.
Roy Head Richmond.
Yeah, that's who you're fighting. So that's a bare knuckle fight, right?
Yes, this is a bare knuckle for the Ken Shamrock Balor bare knuckle fighting. Event. I think it's the first event ever for this organization. It's the first one. So I'm gonna be fighting the main card for this event, and it's gonna be a good fight, man. I'm fighting a really, really good
Live on
opponent.
pay-per-view.
Hopefully- It's on pay-per-view worldwide on Dish Network, DirecTV, Fight TV, and Fight Global. So it's gonna be a big fight for
And
me,
you-
and I'm fighting a tough guy.
And you
hopefully
forgot,
he's not
you
on steroids
forgot
again.
it's going live on JCTV.
That's right, homie. We're gonna record it and share it with the world, and it's gonna be in North Dakota in the Fort Bear Casino. So I'm very excited for this fight, man. I'm already in weight, and I've been training hard. I had to change my training style a little bit right now for my bare knuckle fight because this is bare knuckle, so I had to condition my hands.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I have
that's
to,
more boxing, just all striking. I imagine you've been working on a lot of hand strengthening techniques.
Yes, I'm gonna be working a lot on power, speed, and just basically my opponent is southpaw, so he's a left-hander. So I'm gonna
Right-hand
be
lead all
working with
day,
a lot
baby.
of strikers.
Yeah, to keep that chin down,
he's
keep
a
the hand up.
left-hander, so he's southpaw. So I'm gonna be
No, I'm talking
working-
about you with that right-hand lead on a southpaw.
Yeah, but actually, this is the difference, bro, between me and other fighters. I can fight entire round with my left leg in the front or with my right leg in the front because of my capoeira.
This
So
picture
I
right
don't mind southpawing his ass for this fight or like fighting orthodox. Like I can fight either way.
Yeah, we're
But
pulling
what
up some
makes my-
pictures of
what-
you right there, man, and you're landing a good shot. You're not afraid to stay in the pocket.
I don't mind, bro. Like I just fought Chris Light or Bernard Kwana. This guy, he's known for like knocking people out in the UFC. He fought Nate Diaz. He fought Robbie Lord. He fought like some of the best strikers, and I put a good fight against him. And honestly, I think I won the fight. And I strike with that guy, so I can strike with anybody. I'm not afraid to get punched. So,
Yeah, so
and
the-
I know this guy is a good striker too. So it's gonna be fireworks for sure.
Yeah, bare knuckle's not going to be anything new to you. It's just going to be a different organization, so you're already kind of used to it. It's just another fight at this point.
And I noticed he's also a professional boxer. He has like a couple boxing fights, and he also did a bare knuckle boxing in London.
Oh, that'd be a
So
good challenge
he's
then.
familiar with the bare knuckle as well.
Okay,
So it's gonna be a good fight. It's gonna be a good fight for both of us, man.
nice. Are you scheduled for anything after the September match, or are you just worrying about that one right now?
Well, I have a couple offers. I cannot name organizations right now, but there's big organizations right now.
Good.
I got a couple offers. I just did a jiu-jitsu tournament last week. I did a MMA fight the week before.
Guys all over the place.
I'm trying to
That's what you want.
trying to stay as busy as possible, man. So, and I have actually a boxing fight on October. It's nothing for sure yet, but it's gonna be here in Bakersfield.
Wait. In October, we're talking about professional boxing?
Professional boxing, that's right. I just fought boxing in June 17, like professional boxing. I fought in boxing June 17, and I won first round knockout.
Mark Davis,
Boxing.
Mark Davis, if you're listening to that, that answers your question. So, no, that's good. Who's your boxing coach? I was going to ask you that.
My boxing coach is JC Llamas.
Okay, there you are. You're only you're
My
your
students,
toughest
bro,
opponent.
like my students help me a lot. Like basically what I do, I do research on the internet on new techniques, and I try to like learn those techniques. I show it to my students, and by teaching you the techniques, it also make you understand the details of the technique, because you cannot teach a technique if your technique is bad. So by teaching my students, they also make my technique cleaner and better. And because I'm repeating it over and over and over and over and over again, it makes my technique cleaner too. So my students is probably my coaches for my striking. But I have a friend which also one of my students. His name is Ruben Larios. He's been doing mitts with me. I tell him like what combos to work, what technique. I have a plan, like specific techniques to work, depending on my opponent or depending on what am I gonna do.
Yeah.
And I tell him like, hey, let's work on this, and that. We practice slow motion a couple times, and then we just go with the flow from there. But Ruben Larios is the one that helped me with the mitts. I also in my gym in 2505 at Vista Drive, Bakersfield, California. I also have a couple coaches in my gym that help me teach classes when I'm gone, or also to teach different classes. Like we got Ruben Larios right here, just arrived right here. We got Ruben Larios in the house, and I had Jesse Alvarado. He's the boxing coach in my gym. He teaches my students for boxing. And then we have Christopher Snyder. He teaches wrestling. I have Mark Gonzalez. He teaches jiu-jitsu and wrestling as well. We have Ruben Larios. He teaches Lima Lama, Taekwondo, kickboxing, Muay Thai, and also help me with my MMA class when I'm gone. So we have a solid team of coaches in my gym, bro. So I'm blessed to have these amazing people on my side.
No, it sounds
And
like
also,
you got it together, man.
I go out of town. Like I go train with Fabiano Hija. And we have a lot of friends that help me spar in Muscle Farm, like Paulo Thiago, UFC fighter. Also Tommy Little in Bakersfield, another jiu-jitsu gym. So I'm sorry. And also I go to Wildcard Boxing, bro. And I have a 80 boxing crew there. I also have a Panda. You probably heard about Panda.
Yeah.
He's like one of the best hand rappers. Yeah, I go with him. And Freddie Roach. So I'm surrounded by a great team, bro. So
let me ask you this: when you go to Wild Card, do you go upstairs or downstairs?
Well, I'll be honest, bro. The upstairs, that's where the action is. That's where everybody's parked. So downstairs is more like a private one-on-one here and there.
Yeah.
But I'd rather go upstairs because all my friends are upstairs, and then we got people from different gyms that come and spar. So when I go there, I mostly go to get some sparring rounds, bro.
Okay. No, hey, that's just a question I want to ask. And, either way, you can't go wrong. And, Freddie, Marie, I mean, they're great people. And you may even run into, oh, my gosh, what's guy's name? Mike Rodriguez, one of the best hand rappers in the game. So you'll run into the who's who. I don't got to teach you or show you. You already know this. And that's good, man. If you have a chance, also stop by Robert Garcia's Boxing Academy. We can make that happen. What's your weight, 147s?
My weight?
Yes.
My weight is 170. Well, for this fight, they asked me to do 175.
That's right. Because in MMA, welterweight is one weight as opposed to boxing. Welterweight's a different weight. Yes, that's right. You're absolutely right.
Exactly. In boxing is different welterweight, but in MMA, welterweight is 170.
Yeah.
So this one, my next fight is at 175, actually.
Okay.
Good. What?
That's what it requested, so I don't mind.
You're not going to do that crazy spin jump move before that match, are you? You make me nervous,
well,
man.
I don't know, man. That's kind of like my signature move for my MMA fights. But this one is bare knuckles, so I probably have to come up with something new.
Bro, you made me so nervous when you did that. Like, seriously, I was like, dude, because, oh, man, I was just like, dude, what if you hurt yourself before the fight? Like, that's so risky. Like, you made my heart stop for a sec. I was like, did he just, oh, okay, he's okay. I was like, dude, that's so crazy.
I'm an entertainer, bro. I'm entertaining. I give the people a show, man, so they can see a show. So
definitely give them a show, that's for sure. You're definitely a man of entertainment. There's no shortage of entertainment with you, JC. That's for sure. So you've definitely pride yourself on that, amigo.
You're a fan favorite, and you've been co-signed by a lot of big names. I don't need to give a roll call, but they said, yeah, JC's fighting. Okay, I got to go.
Yeah,
so,
pretty much.
Really, yeah.
So you sound good, man. You ready?
What happened?
You ready? You focused? You thinking about this opponent?
Oh man, I'm ready, man. Like honestly, I get really I have so many things going on, bro. Like you have no idea. Like a lot of things that, like I'm just really happy. Like a lot of things are lining up. I'm finishing a book. I have already my book is done. We're just working on the publishing.
What's the book
the
called?
Editors, couple deals.
What's the book called?
The book is from ashes to flames. The cenizas a llamas. But this is the thing.
Okay.
Flames is llamas in Spanish. Flames. It's translated, but it basically means from nothing to something. Basically, that's the moral. And but it's basically like a biography of how like my life story. Like I grew up in a really messed up neighborhood, like really poor. Like we went days without water or food or electricity, months without electricity, and we overcome all those little things, man. And but for us, it was normal because half of the people in our neighborhood were living the same situation. And then little by little, I started noticing, man, like this is not right. People shouldn't be living like this. And then I started like pursuing a dream, like breakdancing, doing a bunch of the stuff, music and acrobatics, and a lot of different things. So basically, I put all my life story in the book, and most of the story in the book is like a life stories and like inspirational things, bro. Like things that it went wrong for me, and then that I turned good in a positive way. I never thought I was gonna be a fighter. I never trained when I was a kid. I thought I was gonna be a cowboy.
You pulled that off. You're definitely a cowboy, man. Yeah. That takes a lot of balls to do what you're doing, especially with the bare knuckle too. That's a cowboy.
And then I started like working, like getting my degrees in like fiber optics, electromechanics, physics, and mathematics. And then I started studying like for a long time. And then when I finally got to get my master's, I was like, I don't really want to do this, man. I want to fight. So I started fighting, and then my music career. I got signed on the Maverick Sports and Specialty. I've been doing music, acting, shows, commercials for different things for like AT&T, A6, 20th Century Fox Television. I've been working a lot on different projects. So I've been blessed. So on the book, I share all my life story, how I got into that thing, and how I started fighting. How, like, it's crazy, bro. It's a crazy story.
When's it out?
I got hired a couple of times for universities. They hired me to like share a little bit of my life story with them, and 90% of the time we got like a bunch of people crying after the story's done, and and a lot of those kids from the university, the college, they ask me like, so how do you get into this? Or like, what make you do this? And something I learned is by the inspiration of desperation, we become greater. You know what I mean?
I like that.
So by the inspiration of desperation, we become greater. Like sometimes we don't know we have it inside until it's time to actually do it. And that's what happened to me several times, not one time. So
big shout out to Cali Fights.
So when's the book come out? When can people catch it?
My book is the book is done, bro. We're just working the deal with the publisher, and also my music album is exactly like my book. It has the same title, the same name. The only difference is some of the songs on my album they're like related to certain parts of the book.
Oh, okay.
But
So you gotta buy the book and the album to get the full experience.
You gotta buy both of them. I maybe make it a package, like a book and an album.
Dude, I like it.
But,
Fighter,
book album.
singer, book writer.
We just waiting for the publisher to finalize the deal, and after that we set up a date for it. But
nice.
I already been doing a bunch of interviews in like colleges, universities, and I give them a little lecture on my book, and I also have a little part on my YouTube. If you put JC Llamas, From Ashes to Flames, I think From Ashes to Flames, that's the name of the title. Somebody recorded and put it, and it's like a 30-40 minute long, and there's a little bit of the book in that video.
You know what? When that book comes out, man, even before then, I know you're in Bakersfield. I know you're busy, my man. We need to know when you're going to be in the area. We got to have you in studio. I mean, just so the fans, the viewers can feel the real, and they can know that you're back. They need to feel the experience. So actually, we got some chairs out here too, because we're going to have live audiences now. And I want you to be a part of that. And over the phone,
Definitely,
yes, I appreciate that, but we got to get you in the studio.
I think we can make that happen.
absolutely.
We can make that happen,
we
bro.
definitely need
we
the
can
King
make
inside
it
the
like
studio.
like event and make it happen.
Yeah, and you know, on your next single, man, you got to mention something about the fighter's voice, or just write a song called "The Fighter's Voice" or something. I want to hear your style, man. I want to see your swag on that video.
That
you know
actually
what I mean?
would fit with him,
It would.
with the
That'd be
lifestyle
sick,
he's
man.
living.
Yeah,
Definitely,
he's the fighter's voice. That's
that'd be
him.
Really nice.
So real quick, JC, before we let you go, amigo, who do you want? What sponsors you got?
Oh my God! That was about to say that right now. I've been getting a lot of love, bro. I've been getting a lot of love for like my sponsors and like continuing support. So I want to really I don't know if you guys are familiar with the stem cell treatment, but it basically saved my career, bro. I had a bunch of injuries before, and I was about to call it quits. I was like, man, like I'm always injured, hurt here. And then I met this doctor named Dr. Kurt Collins here in Bakersfield, actually, and they do a stem cell treatment.
Yeah.
And like, I was very skeptical because the treatment is very expensive. But then whenever you start noticing like a big changes, I was like, man, why it doesn't hurt?
Does it
no more?
work
Why
on an
I feel
injured knee?
better?
Does it work on an injured knee?
Yeah, that's basically the best thing that you can do.
Then I want to
Like
try it. Let's
injury,
talk. Then I want to try it. I'll be the
knees,
spokesperson. Let's try
shoulders.
it.
Basically, what the stem cells do, bro, they regenerate the part of your body that is damaged. It can be bone, it can be ligament, it can be meniscus, it can be like anything. It can even lungs, heart, like anything. Basically, the stem cells are like a mother cell.
Okay.
They transform. That's how the babies are born.
One other important question: does it work on my bank account?
That's the trick. That's expensive.
You're gonna get even more subscribers if you get stem cells. You're gonna get more likes, more views. You're gonna get more popular. Just get the treatment. And
I'll take that. The team needs that.
Medical. And Vista Medical with Dr. Kurt Collins. Also, I want to give a big shout out to my sponsors like Hadash, Dosh Round with my good friend John Hadash. Also, Gutierrez and Tires, the best tires in town, Suchinola, the best sushi and seafood in Bakersfield. Also, the Cryo Center. Those are like my people that always help me recover for my injuries as well. The Manny Muscle Therapy. They also have one in Fresno, Manny Muscle Therapy, and also Fresno and Bakersfield. Cervantes Spring Shop, Dr. Irving Sanchez, medical doctor. My friend Jerry Marquez, chiropractor, CK5 Life, and everybody that is part Dust Free with the Dust Free for the cars as well. So I'm very blessed. I'm very grateful for all my sponsors for helping me. The thing that people doesn't understand is the fight game is not a one-man fight. You need like a big group of people like working with you, helping you get ready. I couldn't done this without my students, without the people that helped me train, the people that helped me like recover. I couldn't do that, and I'm blessed to have these people by my side, and also like you guys. Like my name couldn't grow bigger if you guys don't promote our names or advertise or do interviews. So I'm very blessed to have all these by my side, and you guys for the interviews, and everybody that makes part of my career. I'm blessed and grateful for that.
It's our pleasure, man. You're welcome. And when you were talking, I was already visualizing this great idea. Comment on this. We run into these young fighters all the time, and I want you to stay on here, JC. We run into these young fighters all the time. They're right there. They have the talent. They have no management. They got no sponsors. They have the drive, or they don't have the blueprint. Sometimes you tell them what to do, but does it happen? We don't know. Now, can you imagine that we got about 5 fighters getting started, MMA fighters and boxers. They talk to JC, and he says, this is your blueprint right here. If I did it, and then he tells them their story, I don't want to hear your excuses. I don't want to hear, okay, I'm not working or I don't have this. When they realize that he didn't have any PG&E and he came from rags to where he's at now, and I want to say riches with blessings, and give him the blueprint, I mean, that's some entrepreneur stuff right there, and that's giving back to society. That's even more than opening up your wallet and giving a check, because you're giving your time in the blueprint. They're going to go on, maybe 1 out of 5 or 2 out of 5, exercise it, and they're going to go around and turn it around and give it back to somebody else, and it's going to go on over and over and over again. This guy, later on in your career, man, I mean, every word that comes out of your mouth, and I know you I don't want to use the word hype, but you promote yourself, you believe, and you raise the bar on a lot of things. And you don't, when it comes out of your mouth, you believe it. And you put it into existence. Like when I interviewed you with Combate, you said the king is back. I got a message for all the welterweights, and you went out there and you took care of business. Now,
I told everybody I was gonna knock him out in the first round, and I told him, and I bet $1,000 that I would knock him out in the first round.
You said he had two choices, either to tap out or get knocked out. Because you were a nice guy, you were giving him a choice.
Before the fight, right before the fight started, like probably like 4 hours before the fight started, they asked me, "Hey, bro, there's no way you cannot finish him in the first round." And he said, I'm not saying names, but he said, "There's no way you can finish this guy in the first round. He's more experienced than you. He has more fights than you. He's been around more with better fighters than you." And I said, "Look, I bet you I can knock him out in the first round." And he said, $1,000 that you cannot knock him out in the first round. And I said, "Let's make it happen." So right before the fight started, I bet $1,000 that I would knock him out in the first round. Prior to the interviews, I didn't know that I was going to fight this opponent. They changed my opponent in the last minute. Wow. Okay? They changed my opponent in the last minute. And so I was giving my opponent two options, knockout, submission. But then when this guy, he was basically instigating that I cannot beat him, we bet $1,000. And I told him, you know what, I'm going to knock him out in the first round. Let's bet $1,000. So we bet $1,000. Prior to what you were saying, bro, this is something very important because a lot of young fighters, they don't understand how the media works, how to market yourself, everything. The best advice I can give to any fighter is educate yourself. Educate yourself. I'm not talking about school. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about educate yourself how the business works, how to train better, how to hydrate better, how to recover better, how to market yourself better, how to put yourself out there better. Like understand step by step how everything works. The more that you know how everything works, the easier for you to be more successful, the easier for you to recover, the easier for you to get more fights, better fights, more pay. Sometimes I feel bad. Like sometimes you need an agent, sometimes you need a manager, sometimes you do, but sometimes there's some agencies and managers they take advantage of fighters, bro. Like I've seen a lot of friends of mine that they fight for UFC and they have to give like 25% to the agency, 15% to their cop man, another 10-15% for the coach, another 10-15 for the gym that they train.
Oh, that's a crappy deal.
Plus taxes, so they ended up with like 40% of what they getting paid. And UFC only paying like to the first guys, the beginners, like the guys that you start like $1,000, $10,000 to show, $10,000 to win. So if you don't win, you're probably gonna take home like $4,000, $4,000 or $5,000. So that's not really enough to fight for UFC because you're not gonna be fighting every single month. You're gonna be fighting maybe like 2-3 times a year if you're lucky. And nobody can survive with $12,000 a year, man. Like nobody can survive with that money. So the best thing is educate yourself, understand how everything works, and believe in yourself. That's the best advice I can give.
No, I hear you. You know, I don't want to take up too much time, but I do want to ask you, in 2 minutes, I want to hear your answer. Who do you have this weekend? When we're talking about the co-main event, which could easily be the main event, and we're talking about Anthony Showtime Pettis and Mr. Nate Diaz. Who do you have, and how do you see this fight taking place? Oh,
man. Those are good fighters, man. Probably, I would say Nate Diaz because his jiu-jitsu is solid, his striking is solid. And I think Anthony has really good striking as well. But if we compare, I think Diaz is gonna take this one. Not by a lot, maybe by decision, but I think Diaz is gonna take this one.
What do you think on that answer, Cole?
I like it. I would agree that Pettis. You know, I don't look at Pettis like the Wheatie box, so I would say he's got solid striking, but I kind of get to the extent that I think Nate's striking's better. He's got range. He's just got better boxing, striking, per se, as far as that goes. He can just hit you from across the room. So Pettis has
I would
good
like to
striking,
fight any of those guys, man. I would like to fight Diaz or Pettis at one point. Like, I would love to fight any of those guys.
One day.
One day, my man.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of one day in a good day, I was talking to Mike Fromowitz today, and he had nothing but positive energy when we brought up your name.
With who? Maya Fromowitz?
No, Mike Fromowitz, yes, the senior vice president of Combate
Maya
Americas.
Fromowitz, bro,
yes,
I got nothing but respect for that guy. Maya Fromowitz is what Combate Americas is. Like, he's the brains. He's the one that made the fight happen. Like, he's the one that made the media. Like, basically, without Mike, there's no Combate Americas, man. Like, he's the brains of the organization, and I'm glad that he's there because without him, the Combate Americas would not be where it is right now.
Hearing that,
agreeable statement.
and you know Mike very well. Cole, what's your whole take on that comment? Is that solid? Is that a solid comment?
I would super agree. Mike is like the face of Combate, but the face that you don't see. He's like behind the scenes. So I would say without Mike, that I mean, I imagine there'd be an organization, but I don't think it would be as high of a quality as they're putting out because of his commitment, his more or less his passion about it, his experience, his passion. Because with all of his experience, he wanted to take something that didn't exist, create it, and start to grow it in a world that there is already a heavy market existing in. There's a heavy market to compete against.
Can you imagine the value on his Rolodex?
Yeah, that thing just...
Yeah, exactly. Hey, I got to ask you this, man. I noticed you said, okay, you would love to fight Diaz. You would love to fight Pettis, and that all these welterweights need to watch out. But you mentioned a name that Friday at Seymour Center, Combate Americas. Is that still an interest to you? Are we going to see John Gotti III against JC Lomas?
I think he's scared of me, bro, honestly. I think he's scared of me when he finds out the type of beast that I am. He's like, there's no way I'm going to beat JC Llama, so why should I even instigate on that fight? So I think, honestly, I think he's scared. Like, he don't want to fight me, honestly. I would love to fight, and I'm showing that I'm a lot tougher and better than he is. And we call him out a couple times, and I think he's just hiding. He's scared.
Hey, man, I mean, you would know. I mean, you're the one calling him out. You're the one waiting for him to reply. And if you don't hear anything, that's your assessment about that whole challenge. How do you see that fight taking place if he does sign to fight you?
With him?
Yes,
Either
sir.
way, 1 round knockout, 4 round submission.
Okay, man, that seems to be the hot streak right there.
Why not? If it's not broke, don't fix it.
No. So where can we watch you, man? This coming up this Saturday, right?
September.
Oh, September. Okay. And that's with the Ken Shamrock, man. He's the face of the organization.
Valor Bare Knuckle Boxing.
Yeah,
It's going to be on
September
pay-per-view,
21st,
right?
North Dakota, Valor Bare Knuckle, JC Llamas versus my steroid head Richmond.
Any way possible, we can get you in studio before this fight takes place, so we could talk about it. Maybe we even give away some tickets, even market your shirts that'll be available for the team.
I think so. I got to talk to my PR, and I made something scheduled for you guys, and we can work something out for sure.
Well, looking forward to it, man. Who's a matchmaker on these bare knuckle events?
I think there are a couple matchmakers, and I think Richard Goodman is one of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Richard's a good
And
matchmaker.
he's putting a good fight. He's putting a good show. So, yeah, man.
He's got breathing room to use his creativity now.
Oh, okay.
Is what Rich has. Rich, yeah, you're going to see a lot more out of Rich and his inner workings for that group.
The handcuffs are off, or just one?
Pretty much. He's no longer out
associated.
There. Yeah, he's no longer out there. So his restriction of creativity and what he feels is best for the show is no longer restricted.
Well, it's just, like a fish. You put them in a small fish bowl. They don't grow. You put them in a big aquarium.
They grow.
They're either going to get eaten or they grow.
Yeah, and he's going to grow.
Okay, good.
Rich is going to grow.
I'm looking forward to that. You know, we need to get him back on the show.
We
too.
do. We definitely need to bring him on.
I want to hear it from him and know that, hey, make a statement and feel good about it. What was that, sir?
Sorry. Before I take off, they're having some fights. I think on Saturday for the 559, and they invited me to be one of the guests for the. They're gonna be doing like some interviews over there. So I'm gonna be in Visalia this Saturday around like 5:30, 6 p.m. If anybody want to go take a picture, I'm going to bring some shirts and some posters for free, the posters. So if you guys want to come by, say hi, take a picture, I'm going to be there at the 559 Fights in Visalia this Saturday at 6 p.m.
Nice. It's good. I like that. So if you're local guys, you're going to get a chance to go meet JC. You know where.
Yeah, exactly. And JC, you're a class act, man. You always handle yourself with professionalism, and you conduct yourself in a professional manner. And some people, they don't understand you until they get to know you. And they're either get to know you up and close and personal by tapping out or going to sleep, or, hey, shaking your hand and saying, hey, nice to meet you.
That's right, bro. That's right. And that's how it's supposed to be, man. We entertain the business, but we always have to be humble after all.
Exactly. Well, we wish you well, man, and I'll be waiting to hear from you. And, hopefully we'll hear from your PR person. We want you here in studio, man. I mean, because the energy that I feel just having you on the phone, having you in studio, giving out some shirts, signing, and then we could even invite some of the fans to come in here in studio afterwards, get to meet and greet, so to speak. So it'll be very beneficial for you, man. And I look forward to it. How does that sound?
Thank you so much for having me, the Fighters Boys, and I see you guys soon.
You got anything else, Cole?
Nope, that's it. Good luck, JC.
Yeah, JC. Hey, man, we'll be rooting for you. I'll be talking to you later, my man. All right?
Thank you, my man.
Okay.
Thank you.
All
Bye-bye.
right, you got it. The guy's full of energy, man.
Yeah.
Nonstop.
No, I like it. It's gonna carry in places.
I looked at your face. Okay, he just got done fighting. Now he's not here waiting on a call. Okay, I don't know when my next fight is. Someone's going out there and looking for him. From getting a workout on from a grappling tournament.
Yeah, I saw that. Was
And
pretty
now
cool.
a bare knuckle tournament. I mean, a bare knuckle fight right across.
He's
wow.
cross spectrum active.
And he's talking about boxing, professional boxing.
Yeah,
I love
in like
it.
October, like right after the bare knuckle
Yeah.
things, which would be smart because you're just transitioning from no glove boxing to boxing. Like that's a really easy transition between camps. So I think he's got a lot on his plate. He's staying active.
It kind of reminds me of the fighter's voice, man.
He's staying active. That's
No,
for sure.
it does, because it's not just a podcast.
Right.
It's ring announcing, color commentary, like you do with your
Radio.
MMA fights. Yes, radio, because there's a difference between radio and podcast. Post-fight, pre-fight, and post-fight interviews.
On-site interviews.
Exactly. Hey, man.
Get you there live at the event.
If you don't promote yourself, no one else is.
He is definitely promoting himself.
Definitely. But I like the idea that he's open to talking to these young fighters. I mean, can you imagine that?
Yeah, that's good. That's a good lead by example kind of thing.
Exactly. And he is. And
He's
his
definitely-
testimony, his story,
Yeah, be good.
there it is there, man.
Audiobook.
Audiobook. So what else do we got coming up, man?
That just the UFC fights this weekend. Like as I get my picks for the top three, I think you got Diaz, you got Romero, and then you got Cormier.
And you've been getting a lot of turnout when you're talking about your top three on the page, and they start to comment
Yeah,
on it and
I
ask
try
you
to get
questions.
people's opinions on it and stuff.
What's
yeah.
the most question asked whenever you in public and they bump into you?
The most question I get is when am I fighting again? That's the
Okay.
most question I get. Yeah, that's almost about the only question I really get when it comes to MMA talk.
I mean, I gotta confess, man. I've been spreading the rumor.
Yeah, you keep spreading that rumor.
I'm spreading
Takes
the rumor,
money to
man.
make money. You guys
I'm
get
spreading the rumor out there.
go find me a doc to spring for the MRI and all that stuff. We'll talk. But
Now, I
no,
know some people that are sign off on it.
yeah. But I would say most of my fight questions come online. Like I'd get them DM to me, or I get like Instagram, Facebook. They'll say, "Hey, what do you think about this?" Or they give their opinion, and we can kind of debate on it, which I like. I mean, just because that's my pick doesn't mean. Because the thing is, it doesn't matter. We're not right or wrong on this. It's just what we think. We can debate why we think one way or the other. And at the end of the day, we're going to get to see the result.
Yeah.
And then you can debate the results and why. Well, remember what you said about this? That did work, but that it didn't get them to fight though. So things like that. I like debates. That's why I post those. I want people to bring up their opinions and thoughts and try to not really sway me because I've already made my decision, but because that's a problem too. People try to sway you too much and try to get you to agree with them. It's like, dude, I already made my decision. I just wanted to hear yours on why you're picking the other guy. Like, give me a sound argument for it. Just want to hear it.
Be your own person. Don't pick them because I picked them.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that. Hey, I want to thank Mr. Micah Fromowitz for the phone call this morning, the advice you gave me, the documents you sent me. I appreciate that, man, so much, man. I mean, I was so excited after we got off the phone because I can't wait to my next interview. I really can't, just to apply those tactics there, the values that you've given me, just the time and when you didn't have to. So I appreciate that. The Fighter's Voice appreciates that too, man. And also want to thank Lupe Contreras, who was our call-in guest yesterday. Great story, great testimony. I mean, I'm just listening from him, man. And he was so comfortable, man. He was opening up yesterday on the show, and he's really never done an interview quite in depth like he did, and it was flattering to know that.
Nice.
Yeah, well, man. Hey, man, the only voice that matters, man.
Damn right.
That's right. So, hey, we'll be coming back next Tuesday, the Fighter's Voice Knockout Podcast. We have some names we're going to throw at you. I need some confirmation, but let me just throw some names out there. We're talking about Mr. Diaz, a possible guest Tuesday, and we're talking about the matchmaker from Golden Boy also. Sean Porter is a possibility. I just got to get confirmation. I'm trying to flip-flop these interviews right here. And then Wednesday, we have a big name coming up. I mean, he's ready to take the microphone by storm, and I just can't drop that name right now until confirmation. He said, Richard, don't mention it until it's confirmed. And Cole, you're going to be excited about that.
Is it who I think it is? Like, do I probably already know who it is?
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, do I know him personally?
Well, you know all the MMA fighters personally.
Yeah. Was he at Combate last week? Because that'll help me narrow it down.
It's a possible call-in,
Okay.
and he fights this weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, we know some people that know some people.
Okay.
that get high with people, that know some people. You're all KP's on the show, right?
No, that'd be okay. You have my interest.
Okay, yes.
If they don't have your interest, but I don't know what else we could do, guys, because
No,
that sounds like an interesting guest coming in.
No. Oh, and tomorrow I'm gonna have lunch with LeVar Johnson.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I am super interested about when we're gonna get that cat on. I would love to talk to that guy.
Yeah, off camera, I'll share with KP and yourself
Cool.
what we're gonna go over and what our plans are.
Cool. I like it.
Yeah. Hey, as always, I'm your host of The Fighter's Voice, Co Escovedo. We appreciate all your questionnaire, your comments, and just the patience and just you viewing The Fighter's Voice, man. Let us know what you think. Let us know if you have some ideas. Share them with us. We'll try them. And don't forget to subscribe. www.youtube.com/The Fighter's Voice. The only voice that matters. We're simply knocking out the competition. It's a wrap here in Fresno, California. Thumbs up for Richie.
Okay, fight fans, it's not goodbye, but until next week.
Remember.
It's always voiceography at its finest. So on behalf of Richard Ortiz, Cole Escovedo, the special guests, and all the crew right here at the Kick-Ass Podcast, saying hasta luego, babies. And always, thanks for listening.